All right, guys, so I'm going to be talking to you guys about personal communication policies. All right, so for today's agenda, I'm going to be talking about what is a personal communication policy, the values in your communication policy, and what questions you should ask yourself to make these policies. I'm also going to be showing you guys examples of personal communication policies as well, and how to deliver your policy in a professional way, and the positive outcomes of having your own communication policy gives you. So what is a personal communication policy? It is setting boundaries to remain professional in a workplace that you are committed to due to your personal values. So it is a policy you communicate to others so your standards for yourself in a work field are efficient and how you want to hold yourself in a professional field. So it is a policy between you and your coworkers. So for instance, my personal communication policy is I don't let anyone close the door when talking to me in my office, especially males. Since I'm in a committed relationship, I don't want any questions arising, and I don't want anything to affect my relationship. And it also gives me security in a relationship that I have with my partner, that nothing ever, gives off the wrong, intention, or, I want a free open door for anyone to come in and be able to see what's going on. So next, some questions to ask yourself when making your personal communication policy. Are you in a committed relationship? Do you want your professional field to come into your personal relationship? So just like I stated, mine is not, not having the door closed, always having it open, so it doesn't arise any questions, and it gives the security for my relationship. In addition, do you like your coworkers following you and knowing your personal life? So do you want them to follow your social media? Do you want them to see everything you do? Or do you want to keep it professional and just have it work related and them only know about the things in work that you do? Also, what makes you comfortable and what makes you uncomfortable? Someone closing the door makes me uncomfortable, so I set a personal policy that helps me and makes me comfortable in a workplace. Also, you should ask yourself, what are your values? What are your values to create your personal communication policy, and how should you make that policy clear in a professional field? Always remaining calm and, I believe stating your policy and being stern and coming off in a professional way will give you respect. And I think people respect what you have to say more so. In addition, what are some things you can do in a workplace to better yourself as an individual? You can also have a personal policy that you walk away when you hear gossip, so that can better yourself. You won't ever get stuck in the middle of drama. So those are some examples of personal policy. I'll be getting into some more. So there's a picture of marriage. You can also do things such as you don't give people or coworkers your personal number, or you include your significant other in those conversations. Or for my instance, I don't let anyone close the door, especially if it's a male, because I'm in a relationship with a male partner. So also another personal communication policy is people have a policy they don't talk about politics, because that can bring arguments, it can make things heated, or, one person could look at you very differently for what you believe in. So, and politics sometimes are inappropriate to talk about. So those are some personal policies. People just won't want to go there. So they set those policies for themselves. Another one is social media. Like I talked about, you don't get to be able to follow that person. They just keep it professional and only in a workplace and not have those outside connections. As well as another policy, as you can see in the left corner, that people do not pursue relationships in a work field as well. So that's a policy people say, I don't even pursue it. I don't even go that route, so don't even try. So those are some policies. In addition, some other examples of personal communication policies are, some people like to discuss their work information outside the workplace. Let's go to a drink and get, lunch and, talk about what's going on in work. Some people say, no, I do not like to go outside. I like to remain in our workplace and, not have those outings, especially, if you are married or, if you don't want, you drink too much or in something happens, you just don't even put yourself in those positions. So that would be a personal communication policy, to set yourself and give and remain by your values. And also the pictures show people gossiping. Like I said, people, you can choose to walk away. I don't talk about anyone else, so I'm not going to engage in this conversation. That's another policy. And then in the bottom left corner, you can see people arguing. Also in the middle, you can see, someone's hand on each other. And then a girl closing the door. So it just gives suspicion sometimes. And sometimes, having a closed door makes you closed off and it doesn't allow people to, want to come talk to you, or if they have questions, be able to come to you, because it makes you look like you don't want to talk, or, you're busy. And then in addition, some other pictures show, exchanging numbers. That's another policy. I don't exchange personal phone numbers. So it's all about what your values are and what's going to make you better, in your work field, and not put you in positions. And, it just makes you more comfortable in your work field. And it's just a policy that you remain to yourself. So I'm almost done. So how to deliver your personal communication policy to others is just have your, define your message and objective and tell them exactly, for example, me going back to my closed door, if someone said, hey, can I tell you something, like it's so embarrassing, like, or I need your help, can I close the door and tell you this in private? I'd always say, we can talk, we can whisper, but I'm not gonna have my door closed, as I do have I do not close the door policy. And if you have any questions, you can email me that if you think someone's gonna hear. In other ways, I don't close my door. If that bothers you, we can figure something else to help you. And then I remain to my values, and you'd want to deliver it in a way where you're calm, professional, and you don't come off rude. So you don't want to have these strategies in mind, and know that people are going to ask you why you have these certain policies, and just to always stand by your values. And lastly, the positives of a communication policy. So having a personal communication policy really sets boundaries for others in a workplace, and it also secures your personal relationships. It doesn't get involved in your personal life by, who's texting you, or who's doing this, or because they could assume, a coworker is, you guys could be doing something. Or also things don't get misunderstood when you have a communication policy, because you have these set in stone things that you won't allow. In addition, you make yourself more professional. People look up to you more so when you have these rules and these standards that you set for yourself and others. Most likely you will get looked up to. And it also paves way for better business. It lets people want to share things and communicate things. And it also, in addition, doesn't put you in positions you feel comfortable with, and it prepares you for encounters that can happen in workplaces. So it just really helps, and it helps you commit to your values and stay true to what you believe in and what you want in your professional field. So that is how you can share or create your own personal communication policy, and those are the helpful ways in doing so.